LTA, how y'all feeling? This your boy Doe. We back at you with a follow-up to a story that we covered before. The former cop, Kim Powder, had her sentencing today. If you recall, she was going to trial for the murder of Dante Wright, which she murdered back in April 11, 2021 on a traffic stop that turned deadly. She claimed she thought she was reaching for a taser, but in actuality she had her gun, which was clear as day before she even talking about she had a taser. I don't know how she did that one, but she even obviously got it. She not only did it, she got away with it. Unfortunately, we're gonna check out a little bit of her trial and let y'all see what's going on here. Once again, this is Kim Powder, the former cop that murdered Dante Wright back in April 11, 2021 in Minnesota.
Protesters gathered outside the home overnight of the judge who handed down the sentence of former police officer Kim Powder. The judge giving Powder less than 2 years in prison for killing Dante Wright last year in a traffic stop. His family devastated by the sentence. They will join us in a moment for an exclusive interview. First, though, ABC's Stephanie Ramos has more on the case from Minneapolis. Good morning, Stephanie.
Eva, good morning. The former Minneapolis police officer who says she confused her handgun for her taser when she fatally shot Dante Wright last year was sentenced to 16 months in prison, and the judge saying it was an extremely difficult decision.
Today, the justice system murdered him all over again.
Former Minnesota police officer Kim Powder, who says she mistakenly fired her gun instead of her taser at 20-year-old Dante Wright, sentenced to 16 months in prison and 8 months of supervised release, well below the range under Minnesota sentencing guidelines for first and second degree manslaughter. The judge saying that in her 20 years on the bench, she has never seen such an unusual and sad case involving a respected officer.
This has been an extremely difficult decision.
Prosecutors requested about 7 years in prison for Powder, while Powder's attorneys argued for a lesser sentence, stressing her remorse for Wright's death and that she didn't have a criminal record. It was just 2 months ago when jurors during the trial were shown graphic body camera footage from when the 20-year-old was pulled over for expired tags and an illegal air freshener hanging from his rearview mirror. Police say officers tried to arrest Wright for an outstanding warrant. Powder firing a single bullet into his chest. The former officer then collapsing to the ground, inconsolable. In court Friday, Powder looked directly at the Wright family and apologized.
I am so sorry that I hurt you so badly. My heart is broken and devastated for all of you.
And after the sentencing, Wright's parents upset with the judge's decision.
We are standing here to say that we're very disappointed in the outcome.
And we still every night sitting around crying, waiting on my son to come home.
So many raw emotions here in Minneapolis. The judge yesterday trying to draw a clear distinction between Kim Powder and Derek Chauvin, who was convicted in this same courthouse of murdering George Floyd. The judge saying Powder did not use her knee to pin down a person who was gasping for air. Instead, the judge calling Powder's actions a tragic mistake. Eva.
Stephanie Ramos for us there. Thank you. And joining us now for an exclusive interview are Dante Wright's parents, Katie and Aubrey Wright, along with the family's attorney, Ben Crump. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Mrs. Wright, I want to start with you. What went through your mind when you heard that sentence?
Anger. I was very upset. I was in disbelief that the person that killed my son less than a year ago was going to spend less time in prison than 20-year-olds on marijuana charges.
Less time than weed charges.
The judge said this was, quote, a cop who made a tragic mistake drawing her firearm thinking it was a taser and ended up killing a young man. That was her explanation for the lighter sentence below the court guidelines. Mr. Wright, what kind of sentence were you expecting?
I was expecting more than what she received. It was a little bit easier to sleep at night thinking that, she was going to be convicted and serve a little time. But, nothing could, I don't know. I just thought she was going to get more time than what she did. That was like a slap to the face.
And I know, Mrs. Wright, you've previously said you wanted to see justice served. Do you feel like with this sentence that you were able to get justice?
No, I feel like the justice system failed us. It failed my son. It fails our community. It's telling, the public that my son's life wasn't worth at least even the sentencing guidelines. Going below that was not okay.
And Mr. Crump, I want to ask you, is the family considering any other legal action in this case?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to bring a civil action in this matter, certainly.
They're going to get
because
paid.
It's outrageous. We believe
they'll
what
bring their
happened
son
in the
back.
sentencing.
Rest in peace to
there are
them.
black people
They're going to get
who
paid.
have greater sentences for selling marijuana than this white policewoman got for killing this young black man.
That's correct.
And it's very troubling because you think about the fact that Muhammad Noor, a black police officer in that same courtroom in 2019, who was convicted of a lesser charge, manslaughter 2, was given 12 and a half years upward departure when he killed a white woman in the very similar manner than Kim Potter, because he was trying to protect the officer's life too. And he was very remorseful, but he didn't get that consideration. The white woman, when she killed the black man, she got all kind of consideration. And that's why so many black people continue to say that there are two justice systems in America. One for white America and another for black America.
And Mr. and Mrs. Wright, I have to ask you, where do you go from here? What do you do next?
Well, the fight isn't over. We're going to continue to fight in our son's name and continue to fight so that way no more 20-year-old black men are getting, shot and killed in the street for simply having an air freshener or expired tabs.
Mr. and Mrs. Wright, Mr. Crump, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hi, everyone. George.
Well, like I said, this is the devil's playground. It's unfortunate. Rest in peace to him, Dante Wright. She definitely got away with murder. There's no way around that. 2 years, and she's not going to do that, obviously. So yeah, I don't know. But I said, when we first covered this, I said I don't expect her to get no real time because it got played way too right. No point intended, and rest in peace to Dante Wright, but she screamed taser, 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 taser. So that right there already is, that's the door opening for she actually really did make a mistake. Who could read her mind like a psychic and say she didn't make a mistake? You know what I'm saying? That's the overlay for the underlay. So that's a given. I knew that out the gate. Taser, taser, taser. That covers your ass right there in a little sense. And then, she's charged with manslaughter. That's why you gotta be careful. You see, she ain't even getting no time for this, so just imagine if they would have charged murder. If they would have tried to charge her with murder, they would have lost all the way around the board. All the way. So the system is tricky. That's why I say the system needs to be broken. It's time to rewrite some of these rules and laws, because we living by this old stuff that doesn't work no more. There's no way in the world that she should have got charged with murder in the first place, or tried for murder, I should say. She should have been tried for murder. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. I'm just here to give the family another ear that they might have not had before. Once again, rest in peace to Dante Wright. And we out here. LTA. Holla at your boy.